Good morning and happy Friday to you. Today is February 21st. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Shardae White. This Friday morning is a cold one. Temperatures will stay below the 40s today, and of course with wind chill, it's going to feel a lot colder. It'll get warmer over the weekend and we'll have mostly sunny days, so that's something to look forward to. In just a bit, we'll hear how Texas will become a major center for stock exchange. But first, let's get into the news. Interim Dallas Police Chief Michael Ego reiterated on Thursday that officers will not assist with ICE deportation raids or arrests. In a statement he read to reporters, Ego said the department has not been asked to participate in immigration enforcement. His message comes as the Trump administration tries to ramp up immigration enforcement across the country. Ego has previously reassured immigrant communities in Dallas that police officers will continue to serve all residents while protecting their civil rights. Mourners gathered at the funeral for a Gainesville student earlier this week. Jocelyn Carranza was a sixth grader at Gainesville Intermediate School who died by suicide earlier this month. Her mother, Marbella Carranza, said students bullied Jocelyn and said her family would be deported. She said the situation has strongly affected Jocelyn's siblings, as they were the ones who found her. Jocelyn's death comes as President Donald Trump promises crackdowns on illegal immigration in the U.S. The Texas Stock Exchange is set to launch from Dallas next year, and both the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange announced they'll follow suit. Experts say it's no surprise North Texas is ground zero for what people are calling Y'all Street. KERA's Kobe Brown and Bekah Morr dug into why.
So bring us up to speed real quick. What's been going on with Y'all Street, as it's been dubbed?
For sure. So a little less than a month ago, the Texas Stock Exchange filed paperwork with the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, which is the first step in getting approval to formally launch as a national stock exchange. That puts the Texas Exchange on track to start trading around early 2026. They've also pulled some big names for its leadership team, including former Dallas Federal Reserve President Richard Fisher, former Texas Governor Rick Perry, and even some folks of the New York Stock Exchange. So definitely some big hitters there and a lot of expertise among them. And the news attracted a lot of attention.
Right, and it looks like the Texas Exchange is going to have some competition when it launches next year, right?
Yeah, so we learned last week that the New York Stock Exchange is moving its Chicago branch to Dallas to be reincorporated as the New York Stock Exchange Texas, as well as the NASDAQ is already in Irving. So Texas will go from having 0 exchanges to now being a mini financial hub.
I mean, going from 0 to 3, can Dallas sustain that?
Experts I've talked to say absolutely. Dr. Keethi Sinha is an assistant professor of accounting at UTD, and she told me the number of public companies in the U.S. is declining. It's dropped about 50% since the 90s, whereas in other developed economies, those numbers are increasing.
Companies are losing interest in being public, even though there are so many benefits, right? They can raise a lot of money from the public markets. So why are companies not making use of this kind of money for their growth? It's because of the excessive compliance requirements.
Sinha said the Texas Stock Exchange is planning to relax some of the compliance requirements that can be a barrier to entry for some companies. So with the potential of new IPOs being listed on the exchange that's more friendly to them, there should be plenty of public companies to go around.
Okay, now I don't know a lot about trading, but I do know that trading nowadays happens a lot online. You can be anywhere to trade on any one of these exchanges. So why does it matter that this stock exchange is coming to Dallas?
Yes, that's true. But the exchange is hoping to attract business here to North Texas as well. Here's Dr. Sinha again.
A lot of financial institutions are headquartered here and a lot more companies are moving here, which is primarily because of, how the governor has been pushing for more favorable tax policies and more favorable regulatory requirements for companies who are looking for out from, let's say, other states which may have more complex reporting or complex tax policies.
Dallas also has the second highest number of financial sector jobs after New York City. It's the financial heart of Texas as well. And finance is the second biggest contributor to the state's economy. So this gives confidence to local companies, not only in Dallas and nearby cities in Texas, but also companies based in neighboring states like Louisiana and Oklahoma.
We have talked quite a bit about how companies could benefit from the new Texas Stock Exchange. What about average everyday Texans?
Yeah, I think reducing those compliance requirements we talked about earlier is going to go a long way in attracting new businesses to Texas. That means more jobs and an increased workforce and more money circulating in whatever local economy the business decides to set up in. With that, you may see an increase in housing and rent prices with more demand, which could be annoying if you're looking to move. But if you're looking to sell, it could be really beneficial.
That was KERA's Bekah Morr and Kobe Brown in conversation. The Texas Rangers start their spring training today in Arizona. They'll face the Kansas City Royals this afternoon and the Giants and Cubs over the weekend. Turn up the volume this weekend with the Dallas Symphony Orchestra Pops concert. Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound will feature soul and R&B hits sure to take you back in time and have you dancing in your seat. For more information and other things to do, visit kera.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. Our host is Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by me, Shardae White, and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter and get good morning vibes from our colleague, Catherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Have a great weekend. Stay warm and we'll see you on Monday.